Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I'm out here walking, trying to get in shape, cruising the mean streets of the San Fernando Valley. So I've been on vacation for the week. It's spring break. If you're Christian, it's Easter break. If you're a Jew, we're moving into Passover. So, you know, I think it's still Ramadan, or maybe finishing up Ramadan if you're Muslim. So, but you know, I've been having family members and friends close to me been dealing with some major health issues, and you know, it's a scary situation. I got buddies telling me about getting cancer. I got family members getting cancer, dealing with diabetes, kidney failure. My own mom is in the hospital right now, dealing with some stuff. It's crazy time. I got my own health issues, but then I think, you know, I have some agency in this, right? We all have agency in our health issues. So, short of a genetic, you know, defect of some sort, inherited disease, we all have some responsibility for our health. And even then, some of that can be modified, some of that can be mitigated. But what do? We just take everything for granted. And I'm not casting blame except upon myself, because I've squandered my health many times. And I'm thankful that the Lord has seen fit to keep me going, because I've had many times to get myself together and I didn't. I've been given plenty of road signs and warnings, but I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I didn't take it as serious as I should have, or even when I did, I just didn't persevere. I didn't hang with it. And so, you know, it comes back, maybe worse than it was before. So, God gives us life. God gives us health. What are we doing to honor that? I got my wife out here walking. You know, she's been having her own health issues. And even when she found out about her health issues, she didn't take it serious at first. You know, it was like, oh well. And she kept eating and doing what she was doing, even when I kept telling her to stop, asking her to change her diet. You know, my wife is Filipino, and so Filipinos love rice, they love starches, they love fats, they love salt. You know, Filipino food is delicious. I call it the soul food of Asia. And you go there, you got food swimming in grease. They eat a lot of pork, a lot of fried stuff. So, you know, good morning. So you have a lot of people over there getting health issues, having heart problems, diabetes, you know, but they don't really change their lifestyle. They continue to eat and to live the same way. So you have a lot of elderly develop blindness, diabetes related blindness, amputations, and premature death. So that's the culture that my wife grew up in. Not unlike the culture black folks have here. We eat the same way. We love our fats, our fried foods. I love my pork. I love my bacon. I love my fried chicken. No stereotypes, huh? But, you know, you gotta be reasonable and understand that you can abuse this and you can end up doing more harm than good for yourself eating that way. So you have to make a choice. Is it your palate or your life that you value most? Me, when I was younger, I abused my body. Even I took my health a little more seriously. I took my diet much more seriously. I was a vegan and I was a vegetarian for, you know, cumulatively. I say cumulatively because I had a little break in there for a minute. But cumulatively, close to 23, 24 years, 18 consecutive, where I didn't eat meat. So, you know, I think that's why even now I got some a little bit of leeway when it comes to my health, even though some of the stuff was starting to jam me up, you know. But because I was an athlete for much of my life and ate pretty good for much of my life, now, even though issues are popping up, they aren't hitting me as hard as they hit some people my age. So, you know, some people like to misquote or abuse scripture when it comes to dietary issues and things like that. We know that in the Bible, God intended man to be a vegetarian. And so we started out being vegetarians, but then he opened the floodgate and man began to eat meat. Then he put restrictions on the meat that we could eat. And so in the Levitical laws, we have certain restrictions on what we can eat, what we can't eat. Oh, excuse me. Got to change hands here. And that's good. But then under the New Testament, Peter, you know, when it came to bringing in the Gentiles, you know, Peter began to have his dreams. And they came with the revisions that said that it doesn't matter what goes in your body, it's what goes in your mouth, it's what comes out of it, right? And yes, I think in principle that's absolutely true. That's what the point God was making was true. But we have to be careful and consider some of the food that we're eating didn't even exist back then. So it's not that you can't eat a pig, but Should you be eating donuts? Should you be hanging out at Dunkin'? Should we be scarfing down McDonald's and Burger King, all these fast food places? Probably not. I don't think that was what was being considered, or even assuming it was. There has to be some limitation, right? It has to be some restriction. So we got to think about that kind of thing too. And so I'm contemplating all of that stuff as I start trying to get myself back together. I see myself in videos and I can hear myself breathing, and it's annoying and it's embarrassing. So I would like to be able to make a video where I'm not wheezing, where you can't hear me breathing, you know, unless I'm under stress, you know, I'm running or something like that. But just casually walking or sitting around, I don't want people to know I'm respirating. Let the only evidence of my breathing be that I'm alive. So I'm doing just a 1 mile walk. I've been doing this week, trying to get myself together. I got bad knees. I found my old stiffer knee brace. I've been using those neoprene sleeves, but the sleeves don't want to stay up. Once you start walking, they start to roll and go down. My wife showed me some trick where you can put a coin in the front and back of the sleeve, and that keeps it from rolling. It does sort of work, but it's just kind of annoying. And even then, they still kind of slide down because you can't really get them tight. They're just elastic. So this one is a more formal brace with metal hinges and straps, so it's not sliding down, which is good. Problem with this one so far is it's extra stiff, so I can't really bend my knee very much. I'm just pretty much moving my leg at the hip. So gotta work something. I'm gonna have to find a compromise. I don't know, maybe it needs to be oiled or something. I don't know. I haven't worn this thing in a couple years. Good morning. Yeah, so man, there's so much going on in this world today. We got the elections coming in this country, and it's just lie after lie after lie, regardless of who you support. The media can't be trusted to report the truth, the issues in the world. The media can't be expected to excuse me, I'm getting all tongue-tied. The media can't be expected or trusted to report the truth on Ukraine, Israel, Biden, Trump, any of the issues going on in the United States. You know, the Democrats claim, you know, how great the economy is, yet the stuff in the stores, prices keep going up. Gas prices are going up again, over $5 again a gallon here in LA. And you know, but they keep pushing it. So it's as if they tell us something, and it must be true. This ain't the old days where there was a presumption of truth if it was printed in a publication or if it was spoken in the news media. Now it's a presumption of lies. We know that the federal government has instituted a program that they've run for decades where they've controlled the media and manipulated news reporting to their favor. And it's just so sad that there's so many sheep in our world that refuse to wake up, refuse to see it. You can go get congressional reports on these things, but if you gave it to them, they still wouldn't believe you. They would say, oh, that's just the Dems, or that's just the Republicans pushing their agenda. But the truth is, these things are real. I just simply point to one thing for black folks, the Tuskegee experiment. There's no denying that. That is certified truth. It has been, acknowledged repeatedly. There are books, articles, documentaries of what went down and how the government instituted a program on black people, causing the spread of syphilis in the black community just for their own scientific purposes. We know that at the end of World War II, we know that the US and Russia raced to snatch up all the scientists from Germany because all the crazy stuff that they were experimenting on, and to bring that crap here. We know that recently COVID-19 was manufactured in a lab. We know this now. It's not a question. I remember when COVID first hit, I went and started doing article research, and I found an article published, I believe it was 2016, by the scientists with the acknowledging of the funding from NIH and from Anthony Fauci's, NID? I forget the name. I forget the name of the organization, but it's a U.S. government organization. Anyway, got a plane going over. I live not far from Burbank Airport. So, in that article, they acknowledged producing a chimeric virus that was half COVID, or corona rather, half corona, half SARS. They used the bat virus, the corona from the bat, in order to infect the lungs, but they needed typically an intermediary. So because the corona itself couldn't go directly into the cells of a human, so in other words, it couldn't jump from the bat species to the human species. It needed an intermediary. So that's when they came up with this, in the media, came up with this talk about civet cats and stuff like that. But what really happened in the lab, according to the article, before the outbreak of corona, was that they took the coronavirus from the bat and they spliced it with the SARS virus from a pig. Because, as we know in research, they often use pigs to help produce tissues for humans, whether it's skin, organs, blah, blah, blah. So pig is a natural species to transition with. So they created what's called a chimeric virus, where they join two separate, distinct species of virus into one, so that the pig part could access the human cells and DNA, and the corona could then be replicated inside it. Why? Because they were engaging in what was known as gain-of-function research. Gain-of-function research is research where you try to play God and you create things that don't exist for the purposes of seeing what'll happen and finding out if you can create cures, so that in the event that these things come to exist in the real world, you're able to deal with them. Well, this one came to exist in the real world because of sloppy, shoddy lab procedures, you know, and so they let it escape. Then they blamed it on the wet market that, you know, oddly enough, happened to be next door to the lab. So, you know, it was convenient that they had a scapegoat there. We mentioned a scapegoat here at Easter time. But it was convenient they had a scapegoat and tried to lay blame elsewhere. But the journals had already been published and the articles are out there for people to see. But our government, our media, perpetrated a lie for this whole time. And even then, they still won't fully acknowledge, although there is some acknowledgement that it was lab-based and not something that just happened in the wild kingdom. So, you know, who do we trust? Nowadays, the only one who's trustworthy is the big man upstairs, God, and the words of Jesus Christ, that if you believe in him, that you'll be saved, right? So whatever these wicked people do in this world may cost you your physical life, but your spiritual life will still remain. And you have to ask yourself, which is more important? Which is more valuable? Which is that thing I truly can't live without? Is it this body? No. It is the spirit, right? That's you. That's the eternal everlasting. And when Jesus died and was resurrected, he freed us from the bondage of death in the physical form. So this body will die, but our spirits will live on. And one day when he returns, we will call those who went to sleep with faith in him to awaken and rise up. I hope to be amongst that crowd if he doesn't come soon. So many people are dying nowadays all around us. As I said when I started this walk, our health conditions are crazy. All these people took these vaccines, and now so many of them are getting sick with heart conditions, lung conditions. I'm meeting all these people having strokes. My own father had stroke, probably multiple strokes. One of my friends that I smoke with at the lounge, same thing. And he and my father are about the same age. So, you know, what's in this world? What is in this wickedness? So, I don't know. But I'm gonna try to get more content out for you guys. I like talking to you guys. Right now I'm getting left by my wife. So I think I'm gonna cut the video short. I'm almost home. So, but it was good talking to you guys. Good 20 minutes here. I hope that you guys like my channel. I hope that you can subscribe, put a like, drop a comment. I don't always respond quickly to the comments, I know, for those who've left them. But I do go through and try to answer as many as I can. So if you drop a comment, if I don't get back to it the same day, don't fret, I will get to it. All right. Enjoy your Easter weekend. Today is the day that he goes to the grave. And we call it good. God bless.